Hey guys, welcome back. I'm taking a quick break from wrenching on the Saab to show a little love for my daily driver, the 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe, which despite what the internet says, has been absolutely rock solid after 15,000 miles. Yep, no drama, no issues, just smooth sailing. So I figured it deserves a little reward. This is a blow-off valve from Boomba Racing. It's CNC machined from billet aluminum with a brass piston inside. And the best part is that it's a direct bolt-on, so today we're gonna see just how easy it is to get it installed. And even though I'm doing this on a 2024 Santa Fe, the installation process is more or less the same for a bunch of other Hyundai and Kia models, and I'll throw the list up on the screen for you. A big thanks to Boomba Racing for sending this blow-off valve to me. If you're interested in this product, I'll have a link down in the description. First step is to loosen the two hose clamps at each end of the main intake piping. Then remove the two hoses that come out of the left side here very gently because they are hard plastic lines. You press on these two buttons here and just pull it out that way. And then there's one bolt there and another one right there. I think that's the only two that holds the filter box. So I'll remove that. Okay, I'm gonna remove this thing because it's connected to the air box. Go. And then there's one more hose right in there I gotta remove. Okay, and then I'm gonna remove this right here. There we go. And that's your whole intake box. This is towards the front of the engine, and there it is right there. We have much better access to the thing we need to remove. There's two bolts right there and two more on the other side right there. Hard to see, but first I'm gonna just remove this hose, undo the hose clamp right there, and then go from there. Okay, I cracked loose the first bolt, which is right there. It's kind of hard to get into, but I used one of these. This will give you the most clearance. I couldn't quite reach it with this because of the hoses. I think if you remove this hose, you'll get better access. Right now I couldn't, and I'm scared to damage the fins on this, I think, intercooler. So I'm just gonna go ahead with this and try to crack all four of them loose. Okay, so the bolts were pretty hard to get to, so I just removed the hose. I used one of these to loosen this hose clamp and just pulled it out. And now we have clear visibility to more bolts. So the bolt on the left right there in the lower left corner of the valve is really hard to get to. So what I did was to kind of rotate this valve gently, and then now you'll have enough access for a socket or a wrench. So I finally got the last one out. This is what I needed. 10 mil and a swivel joint, extension, another extension, and that's worked for me. So good luck with this one. The valve is completely off, and we're not going to be reusing the stock vacuum line. So that one is going to come off on this end right there. Very hard to see, I'm sorry guys, but yeah, there's a hose clamp, little hose clamp right there, and it's gonna come off there. So here's the stock valve. This is the 4 holes where you need to remove the 10 mils, and then this is the vacuum line. I disconnected it on the other end, and then this one just directly replaces that. Notice it doesn't have a hole like this. It's just the vacuum. So instead of the air going back to the system by this hole, this new one doesn't have anything. The gold area is the one that opens, and that's what makes the turbo whoosh sound. This new one should be a little easier because it has a bit more clearance. Yeah, I think one of these were pretty hard to get to, so hopefully this will be easier. This is a cap that you'll use to block off the hose that came out of this. And this new vacuum line will go here like this, and then get connected to the same place where this old one came out of. This little adapter I'm not going to use because if you look at the place where that vacuum plug came off, right there's already a nipple coming out of the, I guess, the outlet. So I'm just gonna connect that right on to here without anything, and then zip tie that, which they also provide here. Alright, so I ran into a slight fitment problem, which is that this hose clamp right here is hitting the valve. So you can see that it's not gonna get tightened all the way if this is in the way. So I'm just gonna loosen this, just wear some gloves. It should loosen by hand. Then I'm gonna move that like there, and that should give me enough clearance. And there it is, all nice and tidy. It's very tight. It was an absolute pain in the butt. However, it's doable. Just be patient. No tips other than just using like a bunch of these combinations of tools. One last thing to mention before I log off is that this hose, it goes there, and the bottom end of this hose goes to the, or used to go to the stock bypass valve, but now we don't have this anymore. So Boomba Racing supplies you with a blocker, and you just put it over there. There you go, and you just put the clamp over it like that, and that's it. It goes to nothing. So all you got to do is just plug this in back to the intake pipe, and this to that thing right here, and then these two, and obviously into there. So yeah, that's it. Let's go see how it sounds. And that's it, a quick and straightforward install of the Boomba Racing blow-off valve for the Hyundai Kia 2.5T engine. If you've worked on cars before, this should be no problem, but if you're new to this kind of thing, it might be a little tricky. So if you have any questions, drop them down below in the comments and I'll do my best to help out. Again, big thanks to Boomba Racing for sending this out to me, and if you're interested in picking one up, there's a link in the description below. Thanks for watching, I'll see you guys on the next one.